Well, the Mueller probe has got many wheels within wheels. The way it began, the way it got started, there are several issues about the FISA warrants that were taken out by the Obama Justice Department under at that time Loretta, AG Loretta, something. And also, if the NYT is to be believed, it all started off with the conversation that a foreign policy advisor to the Trump campaign gave, the meeting that this foreign policy advisor, whose name is George Papadopoulos, he had a meeting with the Australian High Commissioner, pretty high official, Australian ambassador to the UK. Now, Alexander Downer is a senior man. He used to be leader of opposition for the Liberals, as well as the foreign minister for over a decade, the Australian foreign minister. So at this time of the meeting that he had with George Papadopoulos, he was posted to London as the Australian ambassador, and George Papadopoulos was a advisor to the Trump campaign. Now, by definition, the foreign policy advisor to a Trump campaign at that time is not a very important position, and this man was also not very well known. He was part of a Washington think tank, and he was doing some research on Israel and that kind of thing. At the last, say around when the campaign began to really roll, and people started suspecting that Donald Trump could actually become the Republican nominee, and that he could become president one day after the election. There were lots of questions about his foreign policy expertise because a U.S. president, cannot afford to be, an ignoramus. So now Trump himself was into his campaign was focused solely on Americans, the working class Americans who had been left behind, he claimed, and was drawing large crowds on this idea. And he did not really want to focus on foreign policy. So he just hired a few Republicans, not even very well known, on the outer edges, the fringes of the Republican foreign policy establishment, which is a big one, in Washington D.C. So this guy, Trump, the Trump campaign posted him to London, and he met Alexander Downer, and apparently he confessed or boasted or whatever it was. It was a drunken, so claimed the Australian ambassador to the UK at that time, Mr. Downer, that he boasted about his campaign being in possession of hacked Hillary Clinton emails. Now, this is what set the cat among the pigeons in Washington D.C. So it became a huge scandal, and then Hillary blamed it for her these hacked emails, which were not very flattering to an already a woman who was already suffering from, let's say, distrust from the American voter, except for hardcore Democrats, and this caused the Mueller probe to begin, if the NYT is to be believed. The story, the link, is posted below. The NYT story that broke this news about the Downer meeting with Papadopoulos. In fact, it's a little curious because this Downer is an important official, and Papadopoulos was not even well known, and I'm not sure why in fact, he agreed to such a meeting. In any case, the claim was made, and the rest, as they say, is history.